I just wanted to be a millionaire, period, in life. I didn't care if it took me 10 years collectively to make $1 million. I just knew that I wanted to be a millionaire. I had no idea that you can make $1 million in a year, let alone make $1 million a month, let alone make $1 million in a day. I've done all of those things. Like, I didn't even know it was possible. Like, not only myself, but I've shown other people how to do it. And you're probably thinking like, wait, $1 million in a month? Wait, you can make $1 million in a day? Absolutely. The only limitations that we have are the limitations that we place on ourselves. Because again, we were taught all the wrong things. We were taught that time is money. So here's the thing that I learned, and I learned it by being in the right rooms with the right people at the right time. This is why mentoring and networking is so very key, because you can only go so far being who you are by yourself, but together we're better, right? One thing that I learned, I remember I just wanted to be a millionaire, period, in life. I didn't care if it took me 10 years collectively to make $1 million. I just knew that I wanted to be a millionaire. I had no idea that you can make $1 million in a year, let alone make $1 million a month, let alone make $1 million in a day. I've done all of those things. Like, I didn't even know it was possible. Like, not only myself, but I've shown other people how to do it. And you're probably thinking like, wait, $1 million in a month? Wait, you can make $1 million in a day? Absolutely. The only limitations that we have are the limitations that we place on ourselves. Because again, we were taught all the wrong things. We were taught that time is money. Anybody ever heard time is money? We hear that every day. People are like, time is money. I was on a cruise the other day. I mean, not the other day, the other week. I was on a cruise a few weeks ago, and there was a guy, the people that help you with your luggage. He was like, well, time is money. And I had to pull him to the side and share with him the things that I learned. Do you know that time is not money? Time is ultimately more valuable than money. Let me explain what I mean by that. If I give you $10 million today, would you accept it? Anybody would accept it? If somebody say, I got $10 million for you today, right? You accept it. But watch this. If I put a condition on that and I say, I'm gonna give you $10 million a day, but you have to end your life tomorrow. How many of you will accept it then? Not one. Why? Because time is not money. You value your time. You value time more value. Time is more valuable. You value time even more so than you value the money. So we have to learn to disconnect the time from money. But what we learn in school, what I call the miseducation institution, it programs us to believe that you have to exchange your time for money. And we only have a little bit of time, right? So that means we only can get a little bit of money. This is the reason why small business entrepreneurs that are working really hard on an hourly rate can't really get ahead, right? Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying it. I wanted to take some time to invite you to join me in the GovCon Challenge. The GovCon Challenge takes place once a month, where I invite a bunch of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to come and have me teach you the 5 things you must do to pre-qualify your business to land lucrative contracts with the government. So join me in the GovCon Challenge. Click on the link in the description. You'll be glad you did. Join as VIP for exclusive behind-the-scenes information, and you could become a part of the top 1% of entrepreneurs across the nation. Now back to the video you were watching. It's the truth. So do you not know that the education system was built strategically? Back when the education institution was actually built, it was built for the very purpose of creating workers. You could do the research and validate what I'm saying. It was built because during the time that the institutions were created, there were, what do you call those? Warehouses. There's warehouses. And they needed people to work those warehouses for generations to come. And there was no schools at the time. So what they did was they say, all these kids 5 and up, We're going to put them in an institution and prepare them to come work for these warehouses. This is the reason why all the multimillionaires and billionaires that you've ever researched, the one thing that they've had in common is they dropped out of school. They educated themselves. It's crazy, right? They educated themselves. I'm not saying that you don't need to go to school, because you want to get the basic information, of course, to communicate and to be able to function in life. But what I am saying is that school has prepared us to become workers, not entrepreneurs. However, the best value that we have in life is to start a business and to become entrepreneurs. That's the only way to actually create wealth. So I know that you started a business because, you know, maybe you want to do some real estate and make some money and, you know, pass down a couple houses to your kids. Maybe you started a business because you love interior design and you don't want to clock in and out, right? But there's so much more greater in you than to just make a little bit of money, right? There's so much more that's in you, right? When you position yourself and your business as a business that serves, you can make more money than you ever thought was possible. How many of you ever heard of a person making like $1 million in a day? You ever heard that? That's shocking to you that you can even do that, right? A lot, unless you're in mentors programs or masterminds, you don't hear that everyday conversation. I didn't even know that until I started getting into the right rooms and I heard someone say, well, I made $1 million in a day. What, you could do that? I didn't even know that you could. It's all about the math. So for those, I like Josepha says, I'm a business that serves. Now, when I talk about a business that serves, I mean viewing your company as a business that solves problems. So watch this. Yeah, you can sell real estate, flip a house, you can do these things, right? But when you look at the news, and the news is always bad. It's always bad news. There's always something happening. There's always some recession. There's always something negative, right? So I had to step back from the news for a few years, but now I see news from a different perspective, right? Well, what just happened in Hawaii? Well, a whole island just burned down. Do you have a solution to that? Are you an environmentalist? Can you go help them rebuild? Can you help them redesign? Can you go feed the people? Can you house them? Can you clothe them? So when I say a solution, your business, if you have an apparel company, your business can go over there right now and land a multi-million-dollar contract just providing clothes and just helping revitalize, right? If you have a catering business, your business right now can land a multi-million-dollar contract serving those who are at a great loss. And so when I say position your company as a company that serves, there's homelessness that's happening. I mean, this homelessness is growing. It's a growing trend everywhere. First, they used to be downtown. Now they're down in your backyard. Now they're right down the street, right? Now they're sitting right next to your house, right? Homelessness have moved inwards, right? And so if you have houses and land, do you not know that the government will pay you lucrative contracts to house the homeless people? If you do mental health services, if you provide mental health services, do you not know, not only will they pay you to house the veterans, they will also pay you a contract on top of that to run the mental health program inside there. They will also pay you to feed the people that's inside the house. They will also pay you for transporting them to their doctor's appointments and so on and so forth, right? And so we have to view our business as a business that serves, that's a solution, and that's where you can make the difference.